Music family, what's good? It's your boy Jordann Dwayne checking in with another video. Independent versus major label grind, and kind of like the breakdown of it. These like the little series I be making for everybody who knows. If you know who I am, very serious artist. Very Google me. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go down my list of whatever's, but I'm legit, you know what I'm saying? I try to tell people I'm giving y'all all this free game because I didn't pay so much money getting in this music industry and everything like that. I don't like to charge people for this. A lot of the industry gurus, such and such, they're not even really verified and not really official anymore. Everybody's regurgitating game. So I'm giving y'all the real game that I paid and hustled for, sweat, bled, and put tears behind. So this is a good game for you. So we breaking down the independent grind versus the major labels, just because a lot of people always ask me this. So I wanted to kind of break it down for you, like how it all works and what's really important and what you need to know. So basically, if you're trying to decide between, if you're saying, you know, you want to be independent or you want to be with the label, there's good and bads on both, bro. It's like I made, and don't think I'm tasting nobody. I keep saying that I'm on my bullet points. So I'm giving y'all just so I make sure I remember everything to say. So y'all make sure I get all the good information. But the pros and the cons, you know what I'm saying, for being independent, there are a lot, and there's a lot of pros and cons on being on a label. I'm gonna start with the independent side just because I've signed to a few labels and either paid and got out the deal or the deal got out of its term. I worked my way out of the terms, but it's like nothing too major yet. But the major thing about it is being an independent artist, honestly, is like, it comes down to one thing, bro. Honestly, like, if you want to take music seriously, and this is where the conversation gets real. If you want to take music seriously, you have to ask yourself, number one, are you going to do it as a hobby or are you going to do it as a business? Because this is the music business. This is not the music charity. And I tell people that all the time. People who think I'm just going to get into music, I'm going to drop a song, put a music video out and be famous. Like, it don't work like that, bro. It don't work like that. It may have worked like that a few times for a few lucky people, but it don't work like that no more. With that being said, if you want to be independent, you got to be a hustler, bro. You got to be a go-getter. You got to want it. You got to be willing to wake up early and work late all the time to make it work. Like, that's what people have misconceptions about, you know, music, is that it's an easy thing to get into. It's fast. And it can be, depending on, honestly, how hard you work, what your budget's like, because that's what it really comes down to. This music thing is all money. Don't let nobody lie to you and tell you anything else. The music industry comes down to money moving a big machine, and the machine is your music and the marketing that's pushing it. That's all music is. So being independent is all about understanding the business, number one, because you have to have a team in place that you have to build to keep everything rolling for you. Your career, you think of it as a machine. You have a lot of moving parts. There's, you know, your PR, your marketing team, your creative people. When I say your creative people, you know, your mixing engineers, your producers, your content people. You know, you got your legal team, and all these people are working together to basically make your career go. A superstar is a product of a lot of working parts. So being an independent artist, you have to understand how to put all those pieces in the play and make it work for you. And that's what benefits. So with that being said, another one of the key factors with being independent is understanding that everything falls down to you. If you don't do it right, if things don't work, everything's on you. So from touring to like everything that you want, you know, you have to know your goals, what you want as an artist. And if you don't, you won't really go far. People, like I said, people get in the music game and think it just, you drop a song and it takes off. It's like everything is planning, everything is budgeting, everything is marketing, everything is strategic, like summoning of putting a lot of pieces together to make a big puzzle, you know, and it looks good to the public and what the public sees, but behind the scenes, it's really chaotic a lot of the times. And even when things are organized, it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot of nights you don't get to sleep. And as an artist, a lot of the successful ones, people don't understand that they're really truly running a business on top of being creative at the same time. And it's not that it's not easy. It's very rewarding. It's part of the grind. It's part of being a musician. And in the days where it's like you could just, you know, drop a song, like I said, and go sell mixtapes out the back of your trunk, you know, and be, you know, jump in your city, that works, but it's levels to it, you know. And if you're trying to sustain, if you're trying to pay bills, take care of your family and do things like that, you have to get it to the level of to where you're making that kind of money. And to make that kind of money, you have to initially put in that type of grind, effort, energy, and money to make that work. Because it's like I said, starting from, you know, you're putting out project working with quality producers, quality engineers, studio time, all that stuff costs money. Even with me, how I record at home, I still send my stuff to engineers. I still work with producers. Everybody got to get paid. So it's like, it's still budgeting things in. It's ways you can cut around certain things, but it's like, to have professional product in the recording industry as an independent artist, and as that's what you want, is to have the best quality everything, especially if you're independent, to stand above the ocean of everybody else making music, no matter what genre you're in. You got to be A1, and to be A1, you got to spend money, because that puts you above the rest. So that's kind of where I just want to say with the independent, the signing with a label. I'm not gonna go too heavy into this because it's well, I kind of will, but I kind of won't. But I'll put it like this: if you want to sign with the label and you're to the point to where you realize you have enough going for yourself, and even before then, let me rewind a little bit. Signing with a label requires one thing to be successful. You got to still know the music industry. There's so many types of publishing deals, recording or record deals, distribution deals, that are, you hear different things about how different people got messed out of different things. It's like, you got to know what you're going into when you're going into it. Hopefully you have a good lawyer, a good entertainment lawyer that's on your back, that's got your back, that's on your team. I'm sorry, I'd be talking fast. That has your best interest at heart. Because when you're dealing with labels, they're a business. They're signing you so they can win. You win up front, and that I'll go in a little deeper with that. What I mean by that is, with the money that they give you up front, like, do a lot of and that's a whole nother video of me talking about the type of money that they give you, the deals that they sign you to. Do research on what type of deal that you want, because the upfront money that they give you and that they front you is not your money. You have to give that money back. And it usually has a lot of stipulations, a lot of creative stipulations of how long you're tied to this label, how much music you can drop. So look into these type of things before you wanted to get in and say you want to sign with a label, because at the end of the day, all the label is doing, and don't get me wrong, labels are super important. They run the game still, but it's like they're just a hub of connections that can push play. So they have the TV, they have the radio, they have this, they have that, and they have the funding. But if you're an independent artist, if you have your independent radio people, you have your independent show people, your independent, this, that, and that, and then you have your funding from whoever, however you're getting it, rather you have, your credit bag, you have your own hustle that you're doing, you have investors. That's the difference. So you find where it makes sense for you and where it can make it grow for you, and you go where it best makes sense. Like, a lot of people say they want to sign with a label because they want the upfront. They don't understand. You sign with a label, 93% of people who sign with labels don't make it out that first record label happy, bro, and continue a career in music. And it's reasons for that. And, it goes back to before I was doing music. And I hate saying it like that. Like, I'm not an old head or anything like that. But it's like, history repeats itself. Do your research when you get into this music industry, because it's like, what you've heard may not be true, but it ain't far from the truth. And these record labels, they're out to win for themselves. And I'm saying this, I'm making these videos at home. I'm still independent, but I'm doing my own thing. I can do what I want. I can say what I want. I'm a rock star. I'm not a rapper. I don't abide by politics, so I can do and say what I want. Record labels are your friend depending on how you utilize them. If you jump into a record label not knowing what you did because you just made a viral hit and say it blew up on TikTok overnight, and you signed to a record label and you didn't have anybody to read that contract, you might be in trouble, bro. So do your research. DM me if I can ever help with anything. I'm one of them people that I'm busy, but I love to help people, bro. I don't charge to help. You know what I'm saying? I love to help people. Let me know what I can do. Like I said, it's your boy Jordann Dwayne on all platforms. Check me out. Let me know what y'all think. If there's any information I can come at y'all with in the next video to help out with any subjects, anything in the music thing. We still dropping more videos, but let me know what I can do. If y'all want any specific titles, any specific content, I'm gonna drop it. Love y'all. Let's get it, baby.